Hello.
Hello,
Good afternoon.
and good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Yes. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Is everything fine? Like voice and
Hmm. Yeah. You are audible and visible, but I'm getting a little bit the background noise.
from my end,
Yeah, little bit.
because there are some
But right
kids.
now it is okay. Hmm.
Mm,
It's fine right
So
now.
let's start. So can
Hmm.
you introduce yourself?
Sure. So as you know, my name is Rajni Verma. I'm from Shri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. I have done my graduation in Korean language from JNU. Delhi.
Mhm.
Nowadays, I run a YouTube channel where I upload conversational videos and I do provide paid sessions to beginners, as you know already. And
Yeah,
apart from that, if I talk about my hobbies, I love to read books. That's all.
that's great.
Thank
That's great. So you already know about me, but let me introduce myself too. My name is Gaurav. I'm from Delhi, and I have been in teaching profession for almost 13 to 14 years, and I teach English. I think that will do.
you. Great.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to, like, as you mentioned that you have been teaching English for 13 to 14 years. So, it means you have the great affection for languages. So, do you want to learn any other language too in future?
So I think you are pretty much good at predicting things. So yes, I was looking forward to learning Spanish, but I was not able to manage time as I know there are sessions that are available at weekends also, but still
Hmm.
I simply could not get any time, but still I'm not getting any time. So might be in future I will look forward to learning those languages or some other languages, not Korean for sure, because I have heard that it is pretty much difficult to get mastery on this.
Hmm. Okay. So, why Spanish? Do you watch something in Spanish, and what inspired you to learn this language?
When I was learning English, at that time I was into listening to a lot of songs. So there was a singer called I think Enrique Iglesias. So
Hmm.
I used to listen to his songs, so that's why I was a bit passionate towards Spanish because when I heard his songs in Spanish, so that
Hmm.
attracted me to learn that. And I had a friend also who was into learning Spanish. So whenever we used to interact with each other,
Hmm.
so she used to speak a bit Spanish, which I was not able to understand, but I understood few words.
Hmm.
Then I was a bit passionate towards other languages also. So Spanish was one of them, but I could not get time as I mentioned earlier. But I will
Hmm.
look up to that also.
Okay, okay, that's great. Hmm. I was thinking just because people who have great affection towards languages, they always love to learn different languages, right?
Yes. So I'm pretty much happy with the English right now because I still spend a lot of time to ace this language.
Hmm.
Uh, but my options are open. I would look forward to some other languages soon.
I guess there is a network issue. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, now you are visible. Yes, you got
Yes,
stuck.
so now let's talk about some beginners, because I interact with a lot of beginners. So how do you deal with them? Like whenever you come across a person who is in the initial stages of learning a language, especially English. So what is your
Hmm.
correct approach towards that person?
Okay, the correct approach. I am not still very sure about it as I have recently started. But what I do, I can share with you that is
Mhm.
when they come to me, first I have normal conversation in the first session, and I talk about themselves only, like what kind of things did they do already or they
Mhm.
follow on regular basis in order to enhance.
Mhm.
And I think I am capable of providing sessions to people who at least have a basic level of understanding of the
Correct.
English language.
Mhm.
If they don't have the understanding, I don't think so that I am the right person to provide the sessions to them. So if they understand English, at least if not capable to speak fluently, at least they understand, then I can explain the things in a well manner. So I just in the first session only I assess themselves only, how they are doing and what are the areas where I need to help them, and if I can help them. So after knowing about themselves only and about the capabilities what they can do, because when people join sessions, online sessions especially, they feel like the tutor is going to do everything and they
Yes.
will be able to speak fluently after 3 months or 2 months. But that doesn't work. You have to put equally efforts in the process, in the journey. So I ask them if they are okay, if they are going to do the homework, if I'm providing. So mostly the thing is, which first I assess them, and according to their level, according to their capacity, I decide the sessions, I prepare the topics, especially
Mhm.
first for beginners I prepare topics, simple topics which are table topics, and the things which they have already experienced or lived, like school life and then incidents of their own life, past incident and things like that, or they want to do in life, or what are the common things which people talk about it. These
Mhm.
kind of discuss with them, because I guess bigger things, bigger topics we cannot discuss initially with beginners. They will feel again, they will feel, what is the right word, intimidated if
Yes.
we bring
They think they are
enhance.
being judged or they do not feel comfortable delivering those topics. Because
Hmm.
everybody wants to speak English, and most of the time, the kind of topics which are assigned to them, they are not very good at that. But rather than going in the gist of or in the core of it, they should talk
Hmm.
about the things around that particular topic, or they can do one more thing, they can relate themselves with the topic. If they are talking
Hmm.
about English as a topic, so
Hmm.
they can relate themselves, how did they start in the past, and how did they do things at the beginning. So
Hmm.
that's how they can do it. And if I were to tell you how do I tackle this particular thing, how do I simply go for a particular approach, so my approach is quite simple. Because
Hmm.
sometimes people are quite delusional, they think that they are at a very different level because they
Hmm.
set their own levels. By speaking to people, might be they are not that much good as they are, so they try to speak in front of them so that they will think that they would be able to deliver a good message or they will not be judged. So according to
Hmm.
that, they simply start creating that kind of uh, atmosphere around them. So when they come to me, they simply come with this particular sentence: I know grammar, I know the nitty gritties of a language, but I'm not very
Hmm.
good at speaking. So please start from speaking. So
Hmm.
when I assess them further, then I get to know that they are not able to form simple sentences. Yes, they are
Hmm.
speaking, so like in bits and pieces. So I try to jot them down. Like I try to simply give them a right approach, but it takes some time. 4 or 5 days
Yes.
I take to make them realize what their true level is. From
Hmm.
that particular level, I start giving them, start feeding, I must say that, those
Hmm.
basic lessons of grammar, basic vocabulary, especially verb forms, because verb forms are something that nobody wants to learn.
Hmm.
Most of the time, they think that we already know. I know go, went, gone. I know come,
Hmm.
came, come. So it is
Hmm.
not about only 2 or 3 or 10 or 15 words.
Yes.
So, like if somebody comes to me, so I tell him that I ask him that, what do you do every day?
Hmm.
Write those sentences. If you want to write in Hindi, it's all right. So now
Hmm.
take out all those verbs, the activities that you perform on the daily basis, like eat, drink, walk, talk, play, listen. So now, once they understand those words, then we go for the next level, how to implement
Hmm.
those things.
Okay, great. One more thing is there, which we should consider. That is, I have you ever come across any housewives, like housewives? Did you provide sessions to housewives?
Yes, I have done it many times.
Okay. So, I have realized some people come to me and simply say, I want to learn just conversational English.
Mm.
So, to that person, we cannot provide the advanced topics, because why they are learning English, that when they meet other people in the society, when there is a get together, they just want to talk in English
Mhm.
fluently. So, the thing they are going to discuss are about themselves and what they did like yesterday, or if they are meeting to someone after 1 month or 2 months or after 1 year, they are going to discuss about only themselves, the past incident, what they were doing, how things were going. So we have to just think wisely and bring those kind of topics only, which are related to household things and the things which happen in society or in one's life. So that is again a difference.
Yeah, because they are quite confined to those four walls. I'm not saying that they are always there, but technically speaking, you have to have that approach where people are coming to you or you are going to them, so that exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts can happen, and then those like knowledgeable stuff can cultivate. So it
Hmm.
is very difficult for me also, because I'm running an institution where I give offline classes. So sometimes there is
Mhm.
an age gap. So,
Hmm.
like if somebody is sitting who is 40 or 40 plus, on the other hand, there is a person sitting who is only 12 years old. So, the main question that person asks me, the person who is like older than that
Hmm.
child, so they ask me that how would they simply go about talking in front of them. I'm not saying all the kids sit, but I always make them sit together. So I tell them to address each other by their first name or their complete name. Don't simply call them like uncle and aunts. So and then I give them certain confidence and tell them that it is only a language. You might have started a bit late. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
that it is the end of the world, because they ask me that what is the right age to learn a language or anything. I simply tell them there is no particular age. There are people, those who do not even come to me, those who are not even planning to come. Might be they would come in future. You have already come, so you are a bit early compared to those
Hmm.
people. So if you look at these kids, so they have a different approach. They might learn things quickly, but that understanding would not be there. You are quite mature, so you will pick those things quickly compared to those people, those who are in the initial stages of learning. So that's
Hmm.
the advantage that a person has who has age advantage. But it is very
Hmm.
difficult to make them understand at the beginning, because they feel shy speaking in front of. Even I want to share an incident. One day, a man came to me with his son. So both of them wanted to join. He wanted his son to join that institute also, and he was also willing to start
Hmm.
taking classes. But he gave me a condition that I would not sit next to my son. I want you to teach him in a different batch, because he didn't want to feel humiliated, or because he was not that much good. The son was okay. So I made
Hmm.
him understand, but I did not call them in the same batch, because he was not willing to accept
Hmm.
that the father and son sitting next to each other, where the son might think that I am better than my father, because male ego might get hurt.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
these are the things that I come encounter on daily basis.
And when you are in this profession for so long, you have a lot of stories to
Yes.
discuss and to share with other, and inspiring stories. Rose.
I
I
literally,
actually.
sorry to cut you in short, I literally need to push them some time that now it's your time, like your time is up. Hmm. Let's call it a day, because other people are waiting downstairs. So let them come in, because they don't want to leave the class. Sometimes the atmosphere is so like they are pretty much engrossed into that particular atmosphere. They are learning, and we start sharing our experiences. Yes, you quoted right that I do have that kind of experience in terms of teaching, so which helps me a lot. So I
Hmm.
have a lot of anecdotes to relate. So that's how I take the things forward. Yes, you
Hmm.
can continue. Sorry for that.
No problem. So I was saying, like, recently I started reading books written by Sudha Murthy. So
Mhm,
I come across that in most of her books, she has shared the lot of stories, inspiring stories, and different stories about people, poor, or how they started, what happened to uh, women, or what happened to an orphan, so kind of things. So
mhm,
in this journey, the learning a language is again nowadays a big thing, especially English, because it is a global language, and every single country, people need to learn this language. Everyone, even. Okay, so you have a lot of stories in your mind, and you know people's struggle. I guess thoroughly you have observed those. So you ever thought to write books about stories of sharing stories of struggle stories or inspiring stories of these people.
mhm. I think soon you will start giving some sessions on astrology or might be prediction and palmistry. So, yes, I wanted to start writing a book because one of my students has written a book. She shared
Mm,
that link and she has posted. I think that is on in like Amazon. So I was
mm,
quite intrigued at that time when I heard that. So even I wanted to read, but I could not read it because of lack of time available. So yes,
mm,
soon I would definitely go about doing things like this. I do have certain ideas and those small stories, so I'll try to
mm,
connect all those dots which might help others. And at a particular age, when I would be sitting at home doing not so many things, so I would like cherish reading those experiences and everything. So yeah, I will definitely go for it, but not right now. Might be that is in the cards. So let me
mm.
play my cards close to my chest. They will be on the table soon.
Great, great. So I can know about you even without asking you now, right? What
Yes.
you can do in future. I think I is teaching in offline institute is really like different, totally different from
Mhm.
online era, right?
Yes.
I don't have any experience of teaching. I thought once, then again there is a lot of confusion in my mind too, because in offline institute, I think you need a team, proper team. Otherwise, it is kind of
Let
a
me
little
disappoint you.
difficult.
Let me disappoint you. I am the only one who is running that institute. I am the
Hmm.
teacher. I am the helper. You must say that. Sometime even I clean my room. I take the like
Assistant,
room in my hand
manager.
and I start doing that. And sometimes my
Uh-huh.
students also give me a helping hand. So that's how things go. And let me
Hmm.
tell you, when I started the institute, at that very time I did not have much in my pocket, so I went to the nearby cyber cafe. I got a printout of
Hmm.
my advertisement of the institute, so I went to
Hmm.
the nearby bus stands. I had a bucket of glue with a brush in my hand. I started sticking those pamphlets in those areas. So that was the time when things were happening in this way. And a lot of people were asking me, like, do you really do these things, and how much a person can earn doing these petty jobs? Then I said, no, I earn a lot of money. So because they did not think that I was a teacher at that time, because I was sticking those pamphlets and I did
Hmm.
it during night time. But people in Delhi, they do not sleep. So
Hmm. Yes.
that's how I started initially.
You should have documented your journey because you have done everything on your own, like all the time, and it is an inspiring one. You know, once you are very famous or once you are very successful, people will see your success and they don't even know about your struggle. So you should have documented. If not yet, you can start now. A
Yeah,
different channel maybe or
I'll do it. I'll do it
documenting.
because I was pretty much busy in those offline classes, because I
Hmm.
was able to relate myself. I was living myself through those students. So that's how the things were going. My son is outside. He's bothering. When he gets to know that, even he has understood some of the sentences. He's only one and a
Hmm.
half years old. So when I tell him this,
Okay.
just go and close the door, he does it.
Mhm.
So
Oh wow, that's great.
he's getting along with the language.
You must be creating an environment in house for him
Yeah.
especially. So
Yeah, but
I
I
can
do
get.
not simply pressurize him to do things because it is too early to do something like this. But I simply give smaller instructions where first I point out a particular thing, then he understands that, then I don't point out because otherwise he will understand by my index finger that I'm just pointing out at that particular object. So
Mhm.
that's how, because I have seen all those things, I have gone through a lot of teaching things, so now I know how to simply go about things because I started my journey by teaching kids at my home because I
Mm.
wanted pocket money. So that was
Mm.
only pocket money. I was not like looking forward to becoming a teacher.
Okay.
So later on, sometimes things happen out of the box.
Yeah, yeah. We cannot predict. And I
Yes.
guess it is good that you are changing people's life, and this is the major thing in everyone's life nowadays. English is a must thing.
Yeah, I feel blessed when I see
Mm.
those people, when I see their pictures on Instagram and other places, when some people are working in American Express and other companies, even some are abroad. I know
Mm-hmm.
they are a bit stingy, or I must say that they're a bit miser when they come to India. They bring only chocolates. If they watch this particular video, I want them to bring a nice thing next time. So, but
Mm.
it is quite a nice experience when you
Yes.
are a part of a lot of people's
Mm.
life. If I'm able to give a little like helping hand or little help to them, so later on, I see them becoming whatever they wanted to be. So once they
Mm.
achieve that, it gives me a lot of satisfaction. It gives me a lot of pleasure, even. So when I see their
Mm.
glittering eyes when they come to me, that with sometime with their offer letters or sometime like their IELTS score, because some people prepare for that also. So I
Mm.
feel really blessed at that time. I can't express those feelings in words.
Yes, and for a teacher, that is the biggest thing. When
Yes.
their student, thrive in their lives, that is great. Okay, and what's your future plans for your YouTube channel or for your institute?
I want to go for as I want to see myself as a podcaster. I want to start
Oh.
podcasting or like something like this. So this is something that you can say that I'm just taking some experience by talking to you people. I'm learning a lot of lessons and how to go about live sessions and other things like this. So that will give me certain insight of that. I watch number of podcasts also, and you already know that person. So I think um,
Mm.
there is a person, I forgot the name.
Ranveer?
Yeah, no prize for guessing.
Mhm.
So I watch his podcast and some other podcasts also. So that's how the things are going right now. Might be in future I will do that one-on-one session. I'll call them at my home and I'll create a kind of environment or some kind of a studio kind of a thing. So everything starts small.
Wow. Oh, same. I'm also thinking about the same.
Mhm.
Like the thought is a little different, which I cannot disclose, but yeah. Uh, main thing is that I would also conduct the podcast. I want to be a podcaster too, as I also enjoy talking to people and listening to them, their
Mhm.
stories, their struggle, how they become successful, or what are the things they have done and how they learned, what inspired, and all the things. When I
Mhm.
listen to some podcasts on YouTube too, when I then also I feel very thrilled while watching and while listening to them. So that's why I also would love to do that.
Even the name of your channel justifies that.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
because I'm talking to many people nowadays,
Hmm.
and might be once they become famous, so I will call them as a guest. So that's what I'm trying right now. So I don't have to
Mhm.
pull, like, sometime we need to pull strings to get the things done. But here it could be quite easy for me because I
Hmm.
already be known in the know of those people.
Hmm. And your locality is again good. Like people can come to Delhi.
Yes.
So it is easy because I went to Gurugram for Josh Talk. So it is easy for people to go to Delhi for any kind of speech or for any kind of podcast.
Yeah,
Great.
correct.
I am here and I am thinking to start it at my place, like in Shiriganagar itself. But now I'm a little confused. Like, should I start everything from here, like from Jaipur itself, or should I go to back to my hometown again? I'm really confused, and that's why
Now
I
you know
am.
that YouTube and internet is just like a window to the world. So you don't
Hmm.
have to peep out of your door as long as you're using your mobile phone. The things are quite
Hmm.
easy to access. And a lot of
Yes.
people can go, like right now I'm talking to you, so there might be
Hmm.
some more interesting and more successful people would join you soon. So place doesn't matter. Even nowadays, people remove the background also. So they are
Yes.
talking, it seems that they are at the beach. So technology is
Hmm.
such, which is playing tricks with the mind.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Any other thing that you want to discuss?
Yeah, we were discussing about the beginners, and
Okay. Yeah.
we went.
Okay.
I think we went on a wrong track. Not wrong exactly. That would be a harsh word.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
we got our topic derailed.
It happens sometimes when you are just in a conversation or in the flow. It
Mhm.
happens. Hmm. Yeah. I guess we discussed about beginners, how I handle or how
Yeah.
you handle. Yeah.
But one thing that strikes me a lot of people are crazy for vocabulary. Everybody
Hmm.
wants to be Sashi Tharoor. Sashi Tharoor has been in that environment since his birth.
Mm.
He has been to Oxford University. I'm not saying that other people cannot match that caliber. They cannot come to that particular proficiency level that this great person possesses, I must say. So things can happen in the right way, but what will be your approach? He was accessible to so many people, those who were successful and everything. And initially, if you have that kind of environment, then it becomes quite easy. When I was
Hmm.
learning English, I was paying a lot of attention to listening. I used to listen
Hmm.
to different channels. A lot of people say that why didn't you watch? Why don't you use a word watch? Because when you're watching, then you get lost in those pictures sometime. You just need to close your eyes. As
Hmm.
subconsciously, you know what is happening. But I wanted those words to go inside me. So that's how right now I'm speaking to you. So I feel those words. So when I speak,
Hmm.
so it is a certain way that I'm following. A lot of people say that where did you learn to uh, modulate your voice and other things? There are a lot number of things nowadays. In Egypt, I said that earlier. There is a quote: if you want to put something, like if you want to take something away from others, keep it in front. So nowadays we are surrounded by so many things, knowledgeable stuff, books, and everything.
Hmm.
That's why the mind is not able to like think where to
Focus.
start. Yes, the
Hmm.
focus is quite out of focus.
Hmm. Hmm. And
So
the
I give
attention
them an
span.
example. Like if you keep your finger in front, if you look at the finger, the background will be blurred. But if you look at the background, the finger will be blurred. So it is up to you. What do you want in focus and out of focus? So
Hmm.
your focus should be such.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. And I
Mhm.
guess plethora of content is again
Yes.
one of the distractions.
Yes.
So people just try, continuously jump on the other video
They're juggling
instead
with the
of
things.
focusing on the current. Yeah.
Rather than becoming a juggler, they have to ponder over those things, that what are those paramount things. Then a
Hmm.
lot of other people are also around. If they seek help, they can usher them to the right direction. But honestly speaking, sometimes their own pride does not let them study. When I was learning English, when I started my
Mhm.
institution, even my friends wanted to learn. But as
Okay.
I was not into studies initially, I was their friend also. Still, they are my friends. But it is very difficult to study from a friend. They
Okay.
were feeling intimidated that if we go to that classroom, so this is the guy who was younger to us. So we used to play cricket with him. Now he has become a teacher. How would I uh, like sit
Oh.
there and talk? So I made them comfortable. Few of them came, and some did
Mhm.
not.
Okay. Yeah, you have completed your qualification from DU, right?
Yeah, University of Delhi. That was from
So,
Rajmani College.
So in DU you get environment
No,
of.
no, don't ask me because I was from history honors, and later on I found myself in a fix when I went for the admission. I just wanted admission. I did not
Hmm.
have any vision at that time. I thought let's
Okay.
go for history honors because my history was quite good. I used to think that. So I did not see the things clearly. I thought it was brilliant, but I was what exactly I was looking at that was the screensaver. So when I got to know the reality, when I got admission there, the Chinese history, Japanese history, and all those difficult, typical words, they were giving me sleepless nights. So
Hmm.
people feel shell shocked when you tell them you are from history honors. Their first reaction is history honors. Oh, what? You must be very good at numbers, dates, things like that. So it was difficult, but when you are already
It
into
is.
doing things, when I
Uh-huh.
put myself in that like a problem, I must say that because it was a problem for me initially, but later on I quite accepted that and I started enjoying. But the problem
Mm-hmm.
was that a lot of people from Hindi background feel alienated in the class when it comes to history honors because number of people from science background come to history honors because
Mm-hmm.
they are the aspirant of or they want to prepare for UPSC. So
Okay.
we were less in number. Our ratio was so low. We were around 10 or 15% Hindi medium students, and most of them were English medium. So lectures were happening in English most of the time, but sometime they used to have mercy on us. So
Mm-hmm.
they used to speak Hindi for us. So
Okay.
it was not something that helped me to learn English. I was really bad at that time also. I
Mm.
scored 40 out of 100, and that was a minimum percentage to pass that exam because honors student has to score 40. So after graduation or when I was about to get my degree, so I started paying
Mm-hmm.
attention on my career, and there was nothing without English. Who would give me job
Mm-hmm.
at that time for history honors? Come and just tell us the history of this or that. Even I did not know those opportunities that history honors creates.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Okay.
university time was not a learning time for me. I used to run away
Mm-hmm.
from that because my parents used to give me 10 or 15 rupees sometime. So it was very difficult to be surrounded with people those who are spending a lot of money on you, and sometimes you have to spend. So that's where I didn't find myself in the picture. I used to run away
I,
because
I
when my turn used to come.
I can totally relate with that, with both the things. First, we were not good at English. Because of that, we were not able to make friends, a lot of friends.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I have also experienced that in JNU too. You know that people or students who are from Delhi itself or who come from other states too, they
Mhm.
prefer to speak in English only and they prefer to talk in English. And then I have done graduation in Korean, so professors also used to deliver the content or the lecture in English, either English or Korean. If they have to explain the pattern properly, they go with the English, if not
Mhm.
Korean. Otherwise, so it was difficult for me to, like, when I had doubts, then also I used to keep quiet because I didn't have the guts to, discuss the things in English because I was also not good at English.
By the time I used to muster that courage to ask something,
Mm-hmm.
the bell used to ring. So
it,
even some
it
of my
is always
students are
difficult.
journalists. They are into writing some of the editorials for the newspapers and others. So I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
mention their names. Might be they would listen to that also. They will get to know. So when they came to me, they were very like skeptical about the things that how would the things go because they were from English honors. So I still remember a
Mm-hmm.
student came to me and he was saying that I sit in a class where everybody speaks English and I am the only one. All the fingers are pointed out at me, and I feel like leaving that and going for BA Pass. That is a program like like humanities or something. So I
Mm-hmm.
made him understand that it takes time as you are from Hindi honors, sorry, Hindi mediums. So it is not easy for a person to simply directly go for English honors. But he's stick to studying, and he spent almost 1.5 years, and then he left and he came back again. So he wanted to prepare for. the JNU entrance exam. So I
Mm-hmm.
helped. He cleared that. So mass communication is something that he was doing at that time. But now he's writing for some of the leading newspapers, and he
Wow.
takes some interviews also. And
Mm-hmm.
I have another student. She was very much into studies. So one day I'll make a podcast with her. She's quite young. She's only graduate, I think. Might be she's doing masters in English, but she's very
Mm-hmm.
good at writing. She's a freelance writer.
Wow, great.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
there are a number of
Mm-hmm.
names that pop up in my head when I think of English or brilliant speaker or writers. So it has given me a lot of like happy feelings. I want to use basic words so that people can understand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I don't
that
want to take
that
anything out of my armory which is going to hit them hard, that they might look up to those words in the dictionary. So they might be
Mhm.
cursing. How would I use this word?
No, no, people always appreciate that. I have seen on my YouTube channel at least, and I think people love your content, your way of speaking, the way you use word. Even when we use advanced word, or teacher like you use advanced word, people get to know the uses too, the proper uses of the word, how they can use while speaking. So
So
it is good sometimes to use some
one
of the
trick that works for that, if you want to use a particular word and you know the history of that word, you don't have to go for the etymology and all. You don't have to look for that, but at least understand the formation of that word. If it is a
Mhm.
noun, you need to know how to use it, and you need to give certain background by using two
Mhm.
initial or one initial sentence, and after that one more, so that that person can get a breathing space. He would be
Yeah.
able to understand. Am I
Mhm.
showing my credentials by using those typical difficult words to make you kneel in front of me? No. It should be a mutual understanding, and like then mutual respect can come, because we are making that person understand, and that person should understand whatever that we are saying. Otherwise, what is the logic of speaking in a language? Because language is the bridge between two. If you use typical
Mhm.
difficult things, then bridge is quite broken. So, being a good architect, you need to understand if you are building it for the common people, so it should be accessible to them. And you should have another level also where you will talk to those eloquent speakers or brilliant speakers. Then you can take those
Mhm.
things out of your armory, or the things that you call them Brahmastra and all. So you take them out and you can make them understand that you also have certain set of vocabulary.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. And you have used only simple words while talking to me, so that would be great for
I
the
enjoy
learner.
doing that because that's how I'm able to use my emotions through that. So word meaning
Mm-hmm.
should be like the vocabulary should be used to convey your emotions. The words are only about emotions. If you are able to
Mm-hmm.
convey using those simple words, your job is done.
Absolutely. And when you upload videos, or if your students watch videos on YouTube, what they usually say?
They say they take a register and a pen. They keep writing those
Okay.
like sentences and vocabulary that I use. So I try to make them understand in the class. They say that we watched that particular video the last time you uploaded. So we got these
Mm-hmm.
sentences. So can you make them? Can you make me understand this? So after that, my work starts. So this is a kind of
Okay.
homework for some people,
So
but
you
they
break
learn a
down
lot.
everything and then make them
Yes.
understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
I say whatever I feel like. I don't simply prepare before a particular a session or
Mm-hmm.
something. So it comes naturally. I read
Mm-hmm.
certain books. I have like spent a lot of time on watching online content also. So that gives
Mm-hmm.
me that space and that freedom also. So you get that certain leeway to perform when you have already burnt a lot of midnight oil.
Mm. Leeway. Okay. Nice word.
Freedom, freedom.
Yeah, I know. I used to learn those words when I was preparing for banking, so that's why I have a little bit
That's
knowledge, understanding about the words.
let me make you a bit understand here. Like when we learn those words, sometimes they are okay, they are good to know, not
Hmm.
something that you need to use on your daily basis
Mm-hmm.
conversation. It becomes a very difficult task, or I must say, tedious task for a person who is a beginner. So for that novice mind, for that particular like learner, it becomes a mammoth task. Hmm.
Yes.
To get a hold of that particular word and how to use. I might
Mm-hmm.
cram everything, but what about the proficiency that I would get? I would not be able to use those words. So those unfamiliar territories would make me a person who is nowhere. So my nomadic thoughts would not let me drive to the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. But when you prepare for a competitive exams, you have to just learn those words, like many words, then synonyms, then antonyms. Then you should know this appropriate spelling, the
Yes,
correct spelling too, because
but
they, questions are like error detection and kind of
yes,
so.
that's in one
Uh,
word substitute, spelling.
mm,
So if you
mm,
are going to scale up, like if you are going to put some weight on, what do? You eat a lot. Hmm? You go for
mm,
extra calories. Hmm?
mm,
But when you are going to shed some weight or shed some kilos, what do? You
mm,
don't like eat a lot. You go for dieting and all. So we need to understand. I plan everything according to the person's need. So I cater to
mm,
that person's need by giving him the right direction. If person wants to gain some weight, so rather than giving him some caffeinated drinks to burn those like extra calories, so that is not going to be helpful for that person. So I give him
mm,
what is required. At some time I don't simply listen to their demands, I make them understand, I demonstrate everything. So once they
mm,
are like lost in that particular simple conversation, then the
mm,
question is, how would I learn to speak like you? Then I say that you can't speak like me, you can speak better than me.
mm,
That's what you can do. I can help you to get all that knowledgeable stuff, the little knowledge that I possess. I will definitely
mm,
impart that. And you have your own mind, my mind, your mind. You have two different minds. So that is
mm.
a plus plus or win-win situation for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last question I want to know genuinely
Yes.
that are you a very strict teacher or very like I
No,
can say
no.
uh,
Earlier, people used to used to have that perception because they used to think
mm,
10 times before asking a particular thing from me. So I try to make them understand that by just creating a gap like this. Because earlier it was quite difficult for me to start teaching because I was quite coming out of my college. I was in my
mm,
teens at that time. So people were not able to accept me as a teacher, so I have to be like a strict teacher so that people would take me and nobody would take me
seriously.
for granted. So later
Mm,
on I had to develop a different kind of because I go by the time. Now the things are different. Now people want instant noodles. They want everything and we are accessible to through internet and other platforms. So now it is quite a different story. If you
mm,
talk to some of my students, some of them are on internet also, you might get an opportunity to talk to them. So they would tell
okay.
you, even they
Mm,
were not able to speak in front of me, but I never wanted anything like this. I wanted them to speak, but they used to say that they used to maintain things like, we just want to listen to you. We feel very confident when we speak outside, but in front of you, something happens like this. I made them understand that you don't have to prove anything here. You just, like here, you are not competing with anyone. You are competing with me. That's what I have created in my classroom. But when you go
mm,
outside, all the praises that you want from me, I have given it to the people outside. They would definitely shower those flowers, but first you need to give them flowers so that they can shower on you.
mm. Wow, great thought process and mentality. I appreciate that. And now we have to wind
I
this
feel
session.
overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed when you say things like that. I'm just a normal person. uh,
No, now you have this you have been doing for 13 to 14 years and it really matters. The experience
yeah.
really matters.
Mhm.
So yeah. Hmm. Okay, then now I have to go for the another session at
Yes,
it
yes,
was
no worries, no worries.
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for connecting with me again. And in future too, I would love to discuss with you different
We'll talk about
topics.
different topics. The
Yeah,
pleasure
sure.
is all mine, and thank you very much indeed. And I hope a lot of people might get benefit out of it. Thank you
Yeah,
once
yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Bye for
thank you
now.
so much.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.